Hello people, I'm Prila and today I want to share with you my honest opinion about my C-section recovery during the first 2 weeks postpartum. From why I had to go to a C-section, the pain, the swelling, and what really helped me getting better. I have a playlist here on my channel sharing about my pregnancy journey. What happened? Basically, in summary, I had the nausea and the sickness through all of my pregnancy. So it wasn't an easy pregnancy, even though I tried to focus on the positivity of it all, but it was tough, guys. We saw and we knew that our baby was getting bigger and bigger, but we wanted a natural birth. And time was passing by. I was 41 plus weeks pregnant, and I had to get in test. Everything in detail you can see on the videos I will leave on the links here on the description as well. But I went to the hospital, I started the meds, I was having contractions, everything was going with the flow. My water broke at 11 p.m. on the 20th of March 2025, and I was like, yes, my time came, it's now, baby is coming out. But we spent hours and hours still in labor and contracting, and nothing, I repeat, nothing was happening. And I mean, my contractions was there, but I wasn't getting dilation post 5 centimeters. I was still stuck in 5 centimeters for hours and hours, and baby's heartbeat after a while started being very stressed, going from 160 to 90 in seconds. So it was when the doctor said, you need to go to a C-section. We even waited a little bit more because they wanted me to have a natural birth, and I wanted to have a natural birth. But at the end of the day, they said, look, baby is in distress. And when they said that, I was like in shock, first of all. And second, I was like, let's go for it. But now I'm sharing everything like as it was smoothly. But I remember that I was laid down with my contractions and I was so worried. Kyle and I, my husband and I, we prayed so much and we said, Jesus, please make a miracle. We want to go through the natural way. We don't want to have a C-section, especially me. I have had so many surgeries throughout my life. I have had a neck one. I have had a heart surgery. I have had an appendix removal. I have had my fallopian tube removal. So many surgeries, and I was like, not another one, please, please, please. But it was necessary at that moment. Pain level. Again, there is another video to talk about the C-section itself because I basically felt everything. Shocking, but true. As we want to focus here on the 2 weeks postpartum, I will skip to the part that right after the C-section at the hospital, I didn't have much pain, but I was taking meds like every 6 hours, every 8 hours, or every 12 hours. They were giving me like the meds they give you at the hospital, so I didn't feel any pain after the C-section. And I came back home the day after the surgery. Usually I hear that people stay over for 2 nights, but I only stayed for only 1 night. And if you're liking my story until now, please remember to leave your comment and subscribe if you didn't yet, because this will help us so much. And because I want to share with you everything. Continuing with the part that we came back home and I was super stressed because first of all, I was asking myself, what am I going to do with this baby? Now I have a life that I'm responsible for. Will I have enough milk supply? Will I be able to take a good care of this baby? But I was also thinking about me, like I just had a surgery, how I will be able to bend myself to take care of the baby, to change diapers. Even on the changing table, baby was born with 4.1 kilograms. It was a big baby, right? So it's like, the baby's heavy. Should I be like holding this weight like around? It all came to my mind when I came back home, and especially talking to my husband and saying, be careful with the cars around you, do not use the brake very often, try to be careful when driving and coming in and out the car. Guys, it was painful. This I remember, it was painful the first day, and for the weeks, the 2 weeks we are talking about here, car trips were something. But a tip for you, if you had a C-section, or if you know someone that had a C-section, I was sitting always on the back seat to be next to the baby, and when I placed my seat belt, I placed the belly part around my leg so it wouldn't be touching directly my stomach. But I heard that some people, they roll some towels and they place it between, you know, the seat belt and yourself. Do what you feel more comfortable, but for me it worked, like placing the part here in a regular way, but the belly part like placing around my leg. But back home, I must tell you that I didn't feel any baby blues. I cried, I think, for 2 days, but being emotional, like overwhelmed with happiness because of baby, but I didn't have like the kind of depression or the low of my hormones. Probably I had, but I mean, I wasn't that sad. But what helped me, I think it was like trying to keep on my routine. I kept taking my vitamins. I woke up every day, and even though I had a newborn baby that I never ever had before, but I tried to take care of myself first, like wash myself, you know, put some makeup on because I like it, and try to eat even before feeding the baby. I was breastfeeding. Again, there is another video talking about breastfeeding, but it was hard in the beginning, but it was a process. We got through it, and I think the first 2 weeks was very hard. And breastfeeding and like not touching the C-section was hard, but the pregnancy pillow helped me so much. And my feet suffered so badly from swelling. It was horrible. On the first 2 weeks, I thought that was going to be my reality for the rest of my life because it was bad. But after the 2 weeks, it came back to normal. And about the C-section, if we compare what I expected and what I had, I must say that it was a bit worse of what I imagined, because I have had so many surgeries before, as I mentioned, but every time I kind of recovered well. But I think that it was because I didn't have like a newborn baby to take care of, right? I'm not saying that I didn't recover well, but coming back home, I was taking Tylenol and Advil. There's nothing special about it, but I was taking those medicines and I think they're not strong enough, so I was feeling some pain and I had to move here and there. I was trying to take care of myself and rest a lot. My husband was helping me so much, but there are things that only us can do, right? And especially waking up during the night to breastfeed, it was tough, like moving from the bed. I laid down, almost sitting in a sitting position. I had pillows on my back and I was like almost sad. And when baby was crying on the bassinet and just next to me, I was like doing this movement and picking him up, but still this movement was like, what's going on here, you know? I was thinking about it when I was going through the process, when the pain was there, and I was thinking like, we are so strong. Women are so strong because we have like this deep down cut on us, but we still find strength to help others, in this case the baby, and to serve the baby and to breastfeed the baby and to take a good care of the baby and to wash the baby, right? Again, it's good having a partner that does so much, and mine did so much. But like, again, we had to do the majority of the things, right? Especially like cuddling the baby, again, breastfeeding the baby. So I felt like powerful because even though I was feeling pain, I was feeling kind of weak, but I found strength for myself to move on and go over the pain and be there. And sometimes it was painful the breast because of the breastfeeding situation that was new and painful, and also painful the C-section area. So it was like so much pain around here, and mentally as well. I said that I didn't have baby blues, but sometimes it was like heavy, thinking like, am I doing a good job? What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? I think every person faces it here and there. So it was like a bit overwhelming. And I really felt the C-section would be like not as painful as it was. To tell you the truth, my recovery these 2 weeks, they weren't that easy. You know, I had to walk very slowly, as I told you before, going on car trips, like going to an appointment or to the supermarket, it was painful. Sometimes holding the baby in some positions, or you know, laying down with him, it wasn't possible for me because it was very painful. And I was taking again Advil and Tylenol, and they are not that strong, right? So I was still feeling some pain here and there. But let's talk about what I didn't have. I didn't have that much of a gasp after the C-section. I didn't have lots of bleeding. I think I had a regular bleeding on my second week. The bleeding was gone. As I said, I thought it wouldn't hurt that much, but it was super painful. Another thing that I didn't have was like hair loss. Some people, they mentioned to me that they had some hair loss, but it didn't happen to me. Neither I had pimples. I was like pretty much the same. It was only the pain for me. And every person is totally different. I have a friend that had a C-section, and she said that she didn't feel anything. She was taking Tylenol and Advil after the surgery, and she was like fine. Her recovery was like amazing. But another thing that I didn't have was bleeding on the scar. My scar was very dry, and in the second week I had all the bandage removed, and it was healing well, and it's still like very healed and closed and fantastic. It just looked like a regular surgery. Like, for example, this one is pretty similar to this one actually. By the way, this drawing is in real size. I just drew over my surgery, and you can see the size of the scar. And looking back to it, I think that they did a good job closing it. They used the stitch, so they sew it, they didn't glue it. And let's talk about what helped me to recover. I would say that having my husband's support was the must. He helped me so much, and it helped me to be stable and to be centered and to recover well. Another thing that helped me to recover, it was walking slowly and trying to respect my body. Of course, on my brain, I was like, oh, I wish I could do the laundry. At the same time, I could put the dishes on the dishwasher, and I could clean a little bit here and there. I could take a shower. I could take care of the baby, change his diaper. But in reality, I was just laid down, relaxing, and trying to survive. You know what I mean? So trying to respect my body, even though my brain was like very agitated and full of, you know, thoughts and ideas, but I was like, I will stay still and respect my body. Another thing that helped me was eating healthy and trying to eat better and not skip meals. My friend came and prepared some meal preps for my husband and I, so we had lots of containers on the fridge. It was fantastic because it saved us. We were in a rush. We were trying to adapt to everything, so we just put it on the fridge or in a pan, the frozen meal, and we heated it and we ate it, and that was done. And we had like a healthy and good and delicious food to eat and get stronger and stronger each day. And of course, the meds helped me. I told you that I felt pain even though I was taking them, but they helped me at the end of the day. I didn't apply any warm or cold compress. Maybe it's something that you want to try. But what I did was taking warm showers. they were so nice. I didn't apply any soap as my doctor recommended on the C-section area, but I let the water flow and I had soap over my body, so it was getting the soap from my body, but I didn't, scratch it or touch it for the first 2 weeks, let's say. And when the bandage was falling off, I was able to see it, and I was trying always to keep it dry, never leave it, the bandage or the belly area wet, always drying it very well. And hydration, drinking lots of fluids, tea, milk, water especially. And last but not least, lots of prayers, lots of devotionals. For me, I love reading Bible and meditating on it. Of course, I didn't have much time, but I have this app, the Bible app, that you can also download and you can listen to the Bible. So I was listening to it while I was breastfeeding, and I was like meditating on God's word, and I was praying, and I was having my time with God. And I had this mural that I placed in front of me. It was a handmade one with Psalms 23 verse 1 that says that we shall not need anything. So I placed under it things that I would not be lacking or I would not miss, like God would provide for me, in other words. For example, the milk, because in the first 2 weeks your breast milk supply are coming. So I was like prophesizing that I would have enough milk, I would have enough patience, I would have enough sleep, I would have enough calm, I would have enough love, I would have things that I wanted, to have. And I put on this visual board in front of the place where I always sat to breastfeed, that I still sit there, to breastfeed. So it helped me so much, because when you visualize something that makes sense for you, it kind of internalizes you, and it's the God's word, right? So for me, it makes so much sense, and it's everything I live for. So it helped me so. And just to conclude this video, I want to encourage you to stay strong, or if you have a C-section that that you're having like beforehand, do not fear, right? In my case, I was ready, and everyone thought that we would be ready for a natural birth, and at the end of the day, it was a C-section. And I was kind of prepared for the idea of having a C-section, an emergency one, because I know things happen and not everything's in our control. Actually, nothing's in our control, only our own actions, right? So if you are going through, or if you're preparing for a C-section, know that you are strong, and healing takes time. I'm now on my 10th week postpartum, and I can say that I feel a little bit of pain here and there if I exercise so much. I'm not exercising, I mean going to the gym, but if I walk long distance, or if I hold the baby for long hours, I can feel the C-section area. But again, everyone's journey is different, and of course valid. I want to invite you, if you watch it until now, to comment your experience or someone's experience. Let me know your thoughts about my journey, and subscribe to our channel if you didn't yet, because here you see honest experience about motherhood. You see my life throughout the pregnancy and what I live here in Canada, especially my reviews about beauty and so much more that you can enjoy here in this channel. Thanks for watching, and see you on my next videos about my weekly updates and my life. Bye!